Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22nd, Prithu Maharaj's meeting with the four Kumaras. Text number 36 onwards. Pare avare chaye bhava gunvyati karadanu na tesham vidyate kshemam isha vidvansita shisham. We accept as blessings different states of higher life, distinguishing them from lower states of life. But we should know that such distinction exists only in relation to the interchange of the modes of material nature. Actually, these states of life have no permanent existence, for all of them will be destroyed by the Supreme Controller. So all such distinctions exist only in relation to the interchange of the modes of material nature. There is nothing in the material world, there is nothing absolute, nothing permanent. Everything is transient, everything is temporary. Every position, every body, every state of affairs, everything is temporary. In our material existence, we accept a higher form of life as a blessing and a lower form as a curse. This distinction of higher and lower only exists as long as the different material qualities, gunas, interact. In other words, by our good activities, we are elevated to the higher planetary systems or to a higher standard of life, good education, beautiful body, etc. These are the results of pious activities. Similarly, by impious activities, we remain illiterate, get ugly bodies, a poor standard of living, etc. But all these different states of life are under the laws of material nature, through the interaction of the qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance. However, all these qualities will cease to act at the time of dissolution of the entire cosmic manifestation. The Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita, Abram bhavana loka punaravartino Arjuna. Even though we elevate ourselves to the highest planetary system by the scientific advancement of knowledge or by the religious principles of life, great sacrifices and fruitive activities, at the time of dissolution, these higher planetary systems and life on them will be destroyed. In this verse, the word Isha Vidvansita Shitam indicate that all such blessings will be destroyed by the Supreme Controller. We will not be protected. Our bodies, either in this planet or in another planet, will be destroyed. And again, we will have to remain for millions of years in an unconscious state within the body of Mahavishnu. And again, when the creation is manifested, we have to take birth in different species of life and begin our activities. Therefore, we should not be satisfied simply by a promotion to the higher planetary systems. We should try to get out of the material cosmic manifestation, go to the spiritual world and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is our highest achievement. We should not be attracted by anything material, higher or lower, but should consider them all on the same level. Our real engagement should be in inquiring about the real purpose of life and rendering devotional service to the Lord. Thus we will be eternally blessed in our spiritual activities, full of knowledge and bliss. So any position we get, any body we get, any body on any planet, even on this earthly planet, in different country, different family, anything we get, it's all temporary. Even if we don't look at, here Prabhupada is talking about the dissolution of the planets, dissolution of the whole universe. Even in this lifetime, if we get a body, if we get good education, get good family, take birth in high class family, everybody is passionate about, oh, I wish I was born as Tata or Birla or Ambani or whatever. But it's all temporary. They all are going to leave their bodies. And so are we. Everybody is going to die. Everything is going to change. And we think, I'm not saying we should become lazy. We think if I become a multi-millionaire, then I'll be very happy. Because everybody is working hard to make money. But we haven't seen the situation on their side. Their life is also miserable. Maybe with money, but miserable nevertheless. So why not strive for something where there is no misery? Why strive for some temporary, so-called apparent happiness? This is the question of the scriptures. And if we think, or if we are asked a question that suppose we have something very, very dear to us, something, whether it is car or the house or some jewelry or whatever, it's very dear to us and we don't want to get rid of it. And if somebody comes and tells us that you give me that thing and I'll give you, and even if you don't give me within half an hour, you're going to lose it. And you give me now, and I'll give you something worth billions of dollars. Would we even think second chance? Think for a second before just giving it away. We won't. But this is what the Harinam is. Devotional service is. That is permanent. Much, much, much more valuable than anything that we have. Anything that we have, we are so attached to. And it is, we have to give it up anyway. Mrityu sarvarasham. This doesn't mean we give it up right now. But all we have to do, this is in the previous verses, Sanat Kumar is explaining, we have to develop detachment. Very, very important. And that detachment can only happen when we develop attachment for Krishna. And then we are on the right path. Dharma, artha, kam, like we studied yesterday. Kam is not wrong, but kam on the lines of scriptural injunctions is not wrong. But other than that, it is binding us. Regulated human civilization promotes dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. In human society, there must be religion. Without religion, human society is only animal society. Economic development, sense gratification must be based on religious principles. When religion, economic development, sense gratification are adjusted, liberation from this material birth, death, old age, and disease is assured. In the present age of Kali, however, there is no question of religion and liberation. People have taken interest only in economic development and sense gratification. Therefore, despite sufficient economic development all over the world, dealings in human society have become almost animalistic. When everything becomes grossly animalistic, dissolution takes place. This dissolution is to be accepted as Isha Vidhvan Sitasham Sisham. The Lord's so-called blessings of economic development and sense gratification will be conclusively dissolved by destruction. That we are seeing in fact right now. Things are getting destroyed. Whether it's buildings are still there, but economically, the countries are getting destroyed. Markets are getting destroyed. And now there is hopefully it won't happen, but astrologically it might, that war between Armenia and Azerbaijan, it might blow up. We never know. At the end of this Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as incarnation of Kalki, and his only business will be to kill all human beings on the surface of the globe. After that killing, another golden age will begin. We should therefore know that our material activities are just like childish play. Children may play on the beach, and the father will sit and watch this childish play. The construction of buildings with sand, the construction of walls, and so many things. But finally, the father will ask the children to come home. Then everything is destroyed. Persons who are too much addicted to childish activities of economic development and sense gratification are sometimes especially favored by the Lord when he destroys the construction of these things. It's a nice example Prabhupada is giving. That children play on the beach and with the sand, they make castles, they make something, and the kids keep on playing. But at the end of the day, father asks, okay, let's go, it's time to go home. So either children themselves, they break down the castle, they just kick it, or the waves will come and they just destroy it. Nevertheless, it will be destroyed. So same thing is our life. So Father or spiritual master is asking, let's go home back to Godhead. Or that could be the representative of Father or real Father. God is asking us, let's go. So we've been playing for such a long time, making homes and making this and that property and this bank balance and that bank balance. And everything will be destroyed. So either we destroy it, when we destroy it means we'll have attachment with the Father and just leave it. Or the time will destroy. Krishna in the form of time will destroy it. It will be destroyed. And when Krishna in the form of time destroys it hurts. It really hurts. But this is what Krishna's favor is, because if you're getting too attached, then he has to put some sense in ourselves. It is said by the Lord, Yasyam anugrihanami harishyata dhanam shana. The Lord told Yudhishthira Maharaj that his special favor is shown to his devotee when he takes away all the devotees' material opulences. Generally, therefore, it is experienced that Vaishnavas are not very opulent in the material sense. When a Vaishnava, pure devotee, tries to be materially opulent and at the same time desires to serve the Supreme Lord, his devotional service is checked. The Lord, in order to show him a special favor, destroys his so-called economic development and material opulences. Thus, the devotee, being frustrated in his repeated attempts at economic development, ultimately takes solid shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. This kind of action may also be accepted as Ish Vidvam Shitashisham, whereby the Lord destroys one's material opulences but enriches one in spiritual understanding. Another place I was listening to, and gives nice example. Sometimes some examples just touches your heart. He said that there are kids playing in the street. Little kids are playing, and one of the child's mother is making something, and she prepares some nice whatever item, maybe gulab jamuns or rasgullas. And then she comes out. So will she give rasgulla only to her son or to everybody? So the point was, yeah, she will give it to everybody. She'll make for everybody, and she'll give it to everybody, one piece each. And next day again, all the kids are again playing, and she's preparing rasgullas. But then she hears some fight among the kids. So she comes out and she sees all the children, they were fighting. So is she going to beat up only her son or everybody? She's going to beat up only her son. So the example that the speaker was giving, that God gives rasgullas or good things to everybody. But to his son, to the son that is very dear to him, he gives punishment. So the punishment is through his son. He wants to teach everybody, just calm down and don't fight. But after giving punishment, obviously the mother will take her son home and give her 2 rasgullas afterwards. So this is God's way of working, dealing with his devotees. Those devotees were very dear to him. He puts them through many tribulations. Of course, the devotees, or the son in this case, knows my mother loves me. He knows. So the beating is there. It doesn't really matter. So the devotee also knows how much love God has for him. Bhagavatam will go through it. We are going through it, and more we'll read. Pandavas, before we read how much they suffered. Prahlad Maharaj, we'll read about him. More devotees in Krishna Leela. And in every devotee, he has to go through. He has to. And that makes him, he's already dear to Krishna, but that makes him more dear to Krishna because he just never gives up Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna's mercy. He just doesn't give up. So even if it is yasyaham, so this is what Krishna says, yasyam anugranami. Anugranami, to those I show special favor. What do I do? Harishyata dhanam shane. Take away all their properties. Slowly. Why? Because then they have nothing else but to surrender unto me. Just cling on to my lotus feet. And the Prabhupada says, ultimately take solid shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. This kind of action may be accepted as Isha Vidham Shitashisham, whereby the Lord destroys one's material opulences but enriches one in spiritual blessings, which means they want more and more material opulence. If such material opulences are checked, such persons are no longer interested in offering obeisances to the devotees. Such materialistic persons are always concerned about their economic development. They offer obeisances to saintly persons or the Supreme Lord and give something in charity for preaching work, with the view that they will be rewarded with further economic development. And this is the viewpoint of most of the people. But even they do that way, it's still okay. They are at least getting some agyat sukriti. However, when one is sincere in his devotional service, the Lord obliges the devotee to give up his material developments and completely surrender unto him. Because the Lord does not give blessings of material opulence to his devotee, people are afraid of worshipping Lord Vishnu because they see that the Vaishnavas, who are worshippers of Lord Vishnu, are poor in superficial material opulences. Such materialistic persons, however, get immense opportunity for economic development by worshipping Lord Shiva, for Lord Shiva is a husband of Goddess Durga, the proprietor of this universe. By the grace of Lord Shiva, a devotee gets the opportunity to be blessed by Goddess Durga. Ravan, for example, was a great worshipper and devotee of Lord Shiva. And in return, he got all the blessings of Goddess Durga, so much so that his whole kingdom was constructed of golden buildings. In Brazil, in this present age, huge quantities of gold have been found, and from historical references in Puranas, we can guess safely that this was Ravan's kingdom. This kingdom was, however, destroyed by Lord Ramchandra. So the kingdom of Ravan, Prabhupada, Brazil, it was Sri Lanka, but what somewhere Prabhupada also mentioned that there was a tunnel between Sri Lanka and from Sri Lanka to Brazil. So that's how the gold was transferred between the two places. But regardless whether Ravan got the material opulence or not by worshipping Lord Shiva, because of his demoniac nature, the whole thing was destroyed by Lord Ram. By studying such incidents, we can understand the full meaning of Isha Vidvan Shitashiha. The Lord does not bestow material blessings upon the devotees, for they may be entrapped again in this material world by continuous birth, death, old age, and disease. Due to materialistic opulences, persons like Ravan become puffed up for sense gratification. Ravan even dared kidnap Sita, who was both the wife of Lord Ramchandra and the goddess of fortune, thinking that he would be able to enjoy the pleasure potency of the Lord. But actually, for such action, Ravan became vidhamshita, or ruined. At the present moment, human civilization is too much attached to economic development and sense gratification, and is therefore nearing the path of ruination. And these purports Prabhupada wrote in 70s, and they're definitely very much in line right now. So about Ravan, because he got so much of material opulence, so much of power by his austerities, he got so puffed up that he tried to kidnap Sita, but of course he kidnapped only Maya Sita, and in the process he got destroyed by Lord Ram, his whole dynasty. But then, who got to be the king of Lanka? Vibhishan, who was a devotee of Lord Ram. Why? Because he was not at all attached to the prosperity. He was only attached to serving Krishna, serving Ram. In fact, this deity at Rameshwaram, Ranganathaji. So this deity, Vibhishan was carrying him, I believe from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka. But the deity at Rameshwaram, or the place where the temple is, so the deity told at that time, no, just install me here. I want to get down here. So Vibhishan, he obliged, okay, my lord, this is your wish. But the Lord said, I'll be facing south, I'll be facing Sri Lanka to give you all the blessings. So this is the only deity facing south. Normally the deities face east. But this deity is facing south to give mercy to Vibhishan. And Vibhishan comes there. And there's also a pastime, I can read more and tell you later, that Vibhishan comes to Jagannath Puri also. Even now, every once in a while he comes to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. He's a Chiranjeevi, just like Hanumanji is. And Ashwatthama is. So he still comes to take darshan. But because he's a devotee, not at all attached to sense gratification, Lord Ram gave him the whole kingdom. He destroyed it for Ravan. So all Ravan had to do before the war, just give Sita back to Ram and take shelter of Ram, and he would still be enjoying. But no, he got so puffed up, he even dared to challenge Ram. So this is what happens when our aim of life is only cow, pio, geo, eat, drink, and be merry. Our aim of life should be how I can please the Lord. Then everything is there. Everything will be there for perfect enjoyment and perfect service. Okay, so we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mata, thank you.
Nice example every day.
Whatever comes to my memory, I just say it.
Nice, very nice example.
Prabhupada is sitting in your memory and giving us the blessing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes.